A Navy SEAL's weapon is not chosen for comfort or style. It is chosen because it can kill, flawlessly and without pause, when everything is on the line. Across decades, SEALs have wielded revolvers that fired soaked and muddy, shotguns that cleared jungle trails in seconds, and suppressed submachine guns that turned night into chaos for their enemies. But how did a handful of these tools become the 8 most lethal in SEAL history? And what separates brutal myth from hard documented kill power? To answer that, we start at the moment SEAL firepower changed forever. In the tangled waterways of Vietnam, Navy SEALs needed a sidearm that would not fail, no matter how bad the conditions. The Smith & Wesson Model 15, chambered in .38 Special, became their answer. Its double-action revolver design meant there were no magazines to jam, no slides to seize up with mud or river silt. 6 rounds sat ready in the cylinder, each one as reliable after a dunk in the Mekong as it was at the armory. While other handguns struggled with the jungle's constant moisture, the Model 15 fired after full immersion, again and again. SEALs could carry it hammer down for silent movement, then cock it quietly for a single action shot, or simply squeeze the trigger in double action when speed was everything. The .38 Special round was not the most powerful, but it was enough at close range, and the revolver's simplicity outshined any concern about capacity. In the thick of a river ambush, when seconds mattered and malfunctions meant death, the Model 15's mechanical honesty was its ultimate lethal edge. SEALs trusted it to fire after crawling through mud, swimming under boats, or hiding in reed-choked banks for hours. It set the first real standard for what SEALs demanded from a combat sidearm: absolute dependability in the worst environments on Earth. As missions grew more dangerous and the need for raw firepower increased, the Model 15's legacy became the baseline by which every future SEAL weapon would be judged. The Ithaca 37 Stakeout was the weapon of choice for Navy SEAL point men pushing through the thickest parts of Vietnam's river jungles. Chambered in 12-gauge and loaded with 4+1 rounds, this pump-action shotgun delivered a wall of lead at close range that nothing in the jungle could stand up to. Not bamboo, not thatched walls, not a sudden enemy at arm's length. The short barrel made it easy to maneuver through tangled undergrowth, cramped huts, or the tight confines of a river patrol boat. Every pump cycled with a heavy, unmistakable sound, but the real genius was the bottom eject design. Spent shells dropped straight down, never snagging on branches or gear, and the shotgun worked flawlessly for left-handed or right-handed shooters, critical when point men had to switch shoulders or fire from awkward angles without exposing themselves. Reliability was non-negotiable. The Ithaca's action shrugged off mud, water, and grit. SEALs could drag it through a swamp, then rack a shell and trust it to fire. In hut-clearing raids, the point man's job was simple: go first, hit hard, and leave nothing to chance. One blast of 00 buckshot could end a fight before it began. The shotgun spread filled a doorway, giving SEALs an edge in the chaos of close quarters where reaction time was measured in fractions of a second. In the hands of a SEAL, the Ithaca 37 was more than a gun. It was a guarantee that when the team entered a dark room or a riverside shack, the first shot would count. This was the era when brute force and absolute reliability ruled the jungle, before stealth and suppression became the next evolution in SEAL lethality. When Navy SEALs began facing threats far beyond the jungle, brute force alone was no longer enough. The Heckler & Koch MP5 SD was built for a new kind of warfare, one where stealth and control mattered more than raw firepower. Chambered in 9x19mm and fed by a 30-round magazine, this submachine gun brought something no SEAL weapon had offered before: an integral suppressor permanently built into the barrel. That meant every shot, even on full auto, stayed quiet enough to keep the enemy guessing. Subsonic ammunition paired with the MP5 SD's roller-delayed blowback system made it possible to clear a ship, sweep a corridor, or rescue hostages without alerting everyone on board. This was not theory. During Cold War maritime operations, SEAL boarding teams carried the MP5 SD as their primary weapon for ship assaults and hostage rescues. In the close, echoing spaces of a steel hull, the suppressor's effect was immediate. Shots sounded like distant pops, not thunderclaps. A team could breach a hatch, neutralize threats, and move to the next compartment before alarms even sounded. The 30-round capacity gave each operator enough firepower to dominate a room without reloading mid-fight. The MP5SD became a symbol of precision violence. It proved that lethality could mean silence and control, not just volume or brute force. For SEALs, the weapon's reliability in salt spray and its ability to stay on target during rapid fire made it the tool of choice for surgical raids. Every detail, from the smooth cycling action to the integral suppressor, was tuned for one purpose: to give SEALs the advantage in the most unpredictable and dangerous environments. The era of the suppressed submachine gun redefined what it meant to be lethal, quiet, precise, and always in control. Saltwater eats most pistols alive. For Navy SEALs, that is not a theory. It is daily reality. By the late 1980s, the search for a sidearm that could survive endless ocean spray, sand, and sweat led straight to the Sig Sauer P226. Chambered in 9x19mm, this double-action, single-action pistol brought a 15-round magazine, more than double the firepower of the old revolvers, and a reputation for flawless cycling under the worst maritime abuse. SEAL armorers ran corrosion tests that would wreck lesser guns. Weeks in salt-sprayed chambers, full submersion, and repeated firing with wet hands pushed weapons to failure. The P226 had phosphate-coated internals and a stainless steel slide that shrugged off rust and pitting even after months at sea. Operators carried it on shipboardings, beach landings, and long patrols where exposure was constant and maintenance was not always an option. From 1989 through 2015, the P226 was the sidearm SEALs trusted on every continent. It fired clean after saltwater dunks, sand drags, and Arctic cold. The double-action trigger let SEALs carry it safely with a round chambered, ready for instant use in tight quarters. When the mission called for a sidearm, the P226 was the answer, whether clearing a ship's engine room or crawling through a flooded tunnel. Its reliability was not just a selling point, it was a survival metric. SEALs did not need theory, they needed proof, and the P226 delivered across thousands of deployments. That is why, for over 2 decades, it remained the standard for maritime special operations. Not the biggest, not the flashiest, but the pistol that never quit when everything else corroded away. Power in a pistol is not just about caliber, it is about intent. By the 1990s, Navy SEALs needed a sidearm that could do more than survive saltwater and sand. They needed a weapon designed for the offensive, not just as a backup. The answer came from Heckler & Koch, the Mk23 Mod 0. This was not a modified service pistol or a hand-me-down from the regular military. SOCOM wrote the requirements from scratch, demanding a caliber 45, a CP handgun that could deliver maximum stopping power, surgical accuracy, and run suppressed without missing a beat. The Mk23 is a beast by handgun standards. It holds 12 rounds of .45 ACP, each round subsonic, heavy, and capable of dropping a threat with a single well-placed shot. The pistol was engineered for offensive missions, not concealment. At over 2.5 pounds loaded and with a frame built to handle high round counts, it delivers match-grade accuracy at distances most pistols cannot touch. Every detail, from the corrosion-resistant finish to the oversized trigger guard, is tuned for gloved hands in the worst conditions. The real leap came with suppression. The Mk23 was designed from the ground up to run quiet. Its threaded barrel mates perfectly with a SOCOM suppressor, and the system includes a laser aiming module for low-light engagements. Operators carried the Mk23 on Balkan night raids in the late 1990s, where suppressed fire and pinpoint accuracy meant the difference between success and disaster. Procurement trials pushed the pistol through thousands of rounds in sand, mud, and seawater, with reliability scores that set new standards for special operations handguns. The Mk23 Mod 0 represents a turning point. It was the first time naval special warfare was handed a sidearm built solely for their missions, with no compromises. It is the bridge between the old world of rugged durability and the new era of purpose-built lethality, laying the groundwork for the modular rifles and adaptable systems that would follow. Urban warfare in Iraq demanded a rifle that could do it all: clear rooms at midnight, lay down fire in open streets, and adapt to any threat on the fly. The Colt M4A1 SOP Mod Block 2 became the backbone of Navy SEAL assault teams during these operations. Chambered in 5.56 by 45mm NATO and fed by a 30-round magazine, the M4A1 delivered controlled, rapid fire with the punch needed to dominate close-quarters fights and reach out across city blocks. But its true edge was not just firepower, it was modularity. The SOP Mod kit transformed the M4A1 from a standard carbine into a mission-specific tool. Operators could snap on PEQ 15 laser aiming modules for night raids, mount suppressors to keep muzzle flash down and shots quiet, or add ACOG optics for fast target acquisition in daylight. The Block 2 rail system was the game changer. Every accessory, vertical grips, weapon lights, backup sights, even under barrel grenade launchers, attached directly to the rails, letting SEALs build the rifle they needed for that exact mission, then strip it down and reconfigure for the next. This level of customization mattered in the chaos of Iraq's urban battles. SEALs moved from rooftop overwatch to basement breaching in minutes, never knowing what the next doorway would bring. A single M4A1 could go from suppressed stealth entry to full auto suppression, all with a few quick changes. The 5.56mm round balanced recoil control with enough stopping power to end a fight fast, and the 30-round magazine kept operators in the fight longer between reloads. That balance gave SEALs stopping power in close and mid-range engagements. The SOP Mod Block 2 was not just a rifle, it was a system. It let SEALs out-adapt their enemies, stay lethal in any environment, and move faster than the fight could change. But as the war dragged on and enemies hid behind thicker walls and longer distances, the need for even more stopping power became impossible to ignore. When the fight moved beyond city blocks and into the open deserts and compounds of Afghanistan, Navy SEALs needed a rifle that could do more than just keep up. They needed one that could punch through cover and drop threats at distance. The Heckler & Koch MK17 Scar H answered that call. Chambered in 7.62 by 51mm NATO, the Scar H brought a level of stopping power that standard 5.56mm rifles simply couldn't match. Each 20-round magazine loaded with heavy, high-velocity rounds meant that when SEALs faced mud brick walls, vehicle doors, or enemy fighters behind cover, they had the means to reach through and end the fight. The short-stroke gas piston system kept the rifle running clean, even after hundreds of rounds in the dust and grit of Helmand Province. Overwatch elements relied on the Scar H to provide precision fire at ranges where the enemy thought they were safe. Designated marksmen could engage targets at over 800 meters, but the real advantage came at closer ranges, where the 7.62mm round could defeat barriers that would stop a 5.56mm Colt. Mobility wasn't forgotten, but when the mission called for maximum lethality, the extra weight was a price worth paying. The Scar H's modular design allowed for optics, lasers, and suppressors, giving SEALs the flexibility to adapt to any mission profile. In the hands of a SEAL Overwatch team, this rifle wasn't just a tool, it was a statement. When the enemy hid behind walls, the Scar H brought the fight straight through. That's why, when lives depended on raw power and reach, SEALs trusted the Scar H to deliver every single time. Modern SEAL teams needed a weapon that could do it all: maximum stopping power, pinpoint accuracy, and total dominance in the dark. The Sig Sauer MCX Spear answers that call. Chambered in 7.62 by 51mm NATO and feeding from a 20-round magazine, this rifle brings the punch of a battle rifle with the control of a carbine. Its short-stroke gas piston system keeps the action running cool and clean, even when suppressed, and firing fully automatic in the worst conditions. That's not just theory. Piston-driven reliability has been proven in thousands of rounds, from sand-choked ranges to saltwater-soaked raids. But the real leap is in integration. The MCX Spear is built for the night. Rails are designed for thermal optics and advanced night vision, and the suppressor is not an afterthought, but a core part of the system. Operators can mount a PEQ-15 laser, clip on a thermal sight, and move from pitch-black interiors to open fields without missing a beat. Every component is engineered for silent, precise violence. Suppressed fire stays tight and accurate even at distance, thanks to the rigid barrel and tuned gas system. When SEALs need to breach a compound or hunt high-value targets in total darkness, this rifle gives them the edge. No muzzle flash to give away position, no mechanical failures to slow them down. The MCX Spear isn't just another upgrade. It's the apex of everything SEALs have demanded for decades: modularity, reliability, and overwhelming firepower, fused with modern sensor technology. In the hands of a modern assault force, it's more than a rifle. It's a suppressed, sensor-driven hammer built to dominate any environment, day or night. This is the current peak of SEAL lethality. Every new SEAL weapon isn't just a tool, it is a response to the evolving threats shaping today's battlefields. As conflicts grow more complex, the arms race for precision and reliability intensifies. Lethality isn't history, it is an active contest, measured in innovation and survival. The next breakthrough is already in development. Share your thoughts on the future of special operations firepower below.